Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga section. I'm here today to bring the review of My Hero Academia episode number 22. And this was Baku versus Yura. I've been looking forward to this episode ever since last week. Yeah, I liked it during the manga, and I was just looking forward to this fight. This fight, well, I should say this episode was really cut and paste directly from the manga. I think it was definitely a full chapter, and I'm thinking it was a bit more into the next chapter, but that's essentially what we got, and that is a good thing. Like, no filler is always a good thing. But and I've said this quite a few times for this season as well, that I do think that slowing down the pace just a little bit. I've said it for previous episodes, and I'm saying it for this episode, can be still a good thing. I think that this episode should have really just focused on the title of the episode, which was Baku versus Uraraka, however you pronounce her name. And if everything, because that was the title of the episode, and I feel that everything should have been centered around them, and we could have done that with some filler scenes and not make it seem like, oh my gosh, they're just stalling for time. One Piece, they're just stalling for time, kind of thing. I do believe it would sort of been an enjoyable episode. Where I would have placed the majority of the filler would have been in the fight. We could have had some extended fight scenes here and there. That would have definitely made the fight more enjoyable. Now, just talking about the fight as well, I was rooting for Yura, and I think it's because Yura is not really your standard shonen girl. Most shonen girls, to some degree, especially when they're main characters, they are seen to be useless. People will call Lucy from Fairy Tail useless. People will call Sakura from Naruto useless. But when it comes to Uraraka from My Hero Academia, she's like a solid, good female character. Female characters don't well, I haven't seen a lot of female characters get a lot of hype up, especially main female characters. You couldn't argue as that's probably the most popular female main character, but I do believe Uraraka should stand within those rankings. But let's go back to the review. So yeah, we had the fight. Uraraka goes in there with a plan backfires. She wasn't expecting Baku to just pull off the attack that she does, and once he foils her plan, she still tries to go in there. She still wants to fight. She still wants to win. We know her motivation. She wants to get to hero status as soon as possible so she can start getting that money and start supporting her family. So you see this kick in during the end of the fight, and she still wants to fight, but because she's gone over her limit, she can no longer fight. Her body is not doing what it's supposed to do. And throughout this episode, it seems like to the untrained eye that Baku is just being a punk or just being a bully or whatever you want to call it, and is toying with her. But as the episode goes on, as we see him speak, as we have Eraserhead telling them, "Yo, a man's not playing about. He's actually taking this really seriously. He's not rushing into things. He doesn't want to mess up. He acknowledges her as a good opponent, and that's seen throughout the whole of the episode where Baku is involved. So yeah, like he takes the win, and then we start to go into the next fight stuff. We see Deku preparing for his fight. Deku runs into Baku on the way, where he tells Baku, "That wasn't my plan. That was all her. So we're getting pissed off. It's literally all her. You're getting pissed off at." We go into Deku and Yura because they had the same waiting room. He goes in there, he has a little talk with her. Then that's where we find out that Yura is frustrated about not winning, and I didn't really feel that she was frustrated about more winning. So that's where I feel some more filler stuff could have been added. So we kept to the center of the focus of the title of the episode and just show more that Yura was frustrated about winning. Yes, she had the phone call with her dad and she starts crying, but some more filler stuff could have added to show that she was frustrated about not winning this fight. And yeah, after Baku stuff, that was fine. There's just really more of a focus of Yura being um frustrated, and I would have left it off, or left the episode off with the phone call. Yeah, like when Deku walks out and then she's on the phone and she has that phone call with her dad. That is where I would have left the episode off. So all that going into Deku meeting with Mr. Fahrenheit's dad, I would have left out. I don't know, leave that for the next episode, which could have been all the Deku versus Mr. Fahrenheit stuff. Because in this episode, we have him talking to his dad, and his dad is like, "Yeah, you're like all mine, aren't you? My son won't beat you." And then we have all Deku saying to his dad, "I'm not all might. Your son is not you. We are both not playing your game, so don't involve us in it." And then he walks off like a boss. And then so the episode ends off with them both on stage. Deku, Mr. Fahrenheit, the gong, so to say, has rung on the fight. So the fight is about to pop off straight away as the next episode begins. That's how the next episode is going to start. Don't know how far into it's going to go, but we'll see. So yeah, I've laid out my thoughts and opinions for the episode and how I think it could have been better as I went on talking. I'm going to give it, but however, it is staying true to the manga, and we are moving on at the manga's pace, so therefore I cannot fault it. I'm upset because you're lost. Yeah, 3-star rating, call it review. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.